All right, everybody, welcome to it. I'm running solo today. Somebody had to work. So I'm going to continue on with a little mini series that we're doing with just the feasts. Today we're talking about unleavened bread, which is a very interesting one. And I kind of hate that it's just me running this one, but because you're going to miss out on quite a bit of interesting topics there. We're going to talk about unleavened bread. Uh, this will also take place during Passover. It's going to be 15 through 21 Nisan, which is either March or April. And we're going to go through quite a bit of scripture today. And bear with me as we pull these up and get these ready for you here. We're going to do Leviticus 23, 6 through 8. And I might back this one up to 4, actually. I'm going to come through here and read through here. These are the Lord's appointed times, holy assemblies, in which you must proclaim their appointed time. In the first month, on the 14th day of the month at twilight, is a Passover offering to the Lord. So this is him setting up that you're going to keep doing this, that this is going to be something that I've a requirement, so to speak. And on the 15th day of the same month is the feast of unleavened bread to the Lord. 7 days you must eat unleavened bread. On the first day you shall have a holy convocation. You shall do no customary work on it, but you shall offer an offering made by fire to the Lord for 7 days. The seventh day shall be a holy convocation. You shall do no customary work on it. Very interesting how all this lays out. We're going to jump over. I'm just going to try to speed through this, but I wanted to kind of talk about the main point behind what we're working on here. Exodus 15:20. Oops. Drop that down there for you. I started this one at 14. Exodus 12:15 through 20. This is going to go on here. This day will become a memorial for you, and you will celebrate it as a festival to the Lord. You will celebrate it perpetually. I don't know why all these ads are everywhere. Sorry about that. Okay, go away. On this day, I'm going to just read it from here. And I'll continue on here at 15. 7 days you shall eat unleavened bread. On the first day you shall remove leaven from your houses. This is the interesting part. On the first day you shall remove leaven from your houses. For whoever eats leavened bread from the first day until the seventh day, that person shall be cut off from Israel. On the first day there shall be a holy convocation, and on the seventh day there shall be a holy convocation for you. No manner of work shall be done on them, but that which everyone must eat, that only may be prepared by you. So the work is basically just preparing the feast. So you shall observe the feast of unleavened bread on this, for on this same day I have brought your armies out of the land of Egypt. Therefore you shall observe this day throughout your generation as an everlasting ordinance. In the first month, on the 14th day of the month at evening, you shall eat unleavened bread until the 21st day of the month at evening. Verse 19, for 7 days no leaven shall be found in your houses. Since whoever eats what is leavened, that same person shall be cut off from the congregation of Israel, whether he is a stranger or a native of the land. That's a very interesting part. Then 20, you shall eat nothing leavened. In all your dwellings you shall eat unleavened bread. Okay, this is very, like I said, the whole process. I mean, could you imagine? That'd be a great way to set somebody up. Like, hey, we don't like this guy. We're gonna bury some unleavened bread in his house, and they'll find him and cut him off and kick him out of the town. Just be the way it works. I always go to the evil part of everything that's being done on this. So this is a separate feast that is on the 15th day, but it's the same month as the Passover. And today, the feast of Pesach, I'm probably going to spell it or pronounce everything incorrectly. Unleavened bread and first fruits have all been incorporated into the celebration of Passover. First fruits is really cool. We're going to go over that next week. That one is really awesome. The reference of Passover means for all three feasts. Yeah, so Passover is a combination of all three feasts, and this is the whole concept of getting you out of Egypt and surviving Egypt. Basically, what the Lord did for the Israel to get them out of Egypt. Passover is celebrated for 8 days, 14 through 21 Nisan. The Lord states that the children of Israel must eat unleavened bread for 7 days. And this is the why. Like I said, I started this series because I was kind of like, okay, we have the feasts, but what were we supporting? What we know other than Passover, I really didn't know much about them, and so because we don't really talk about them much in the Christian church. And so one of the things that I learned from this one and the purpose of the unleavened bread is twofold. There's two awesome purposes here. Passover was celebrated for 8 days. Unleavened bread made in a hurry represents how the Lord brought the Israelites out of Egypt in haste. According to biblical accounts in Exodus, Israelites left Egypt in such haste that they could not wait for their bread dough to rise. Unleavened bread, from what I looked up, takes about 18 minutes to prepare. And so they were leaving in such a hurry they didn't have time to pack. In order to get food ready, they just did this unleavened bread real quick because they knew this would be a quick way to get some calories on this, march out to the land, to the promised land. And here we're going to go through Deuteronomy 16:3. You shall eat no leavened bread with it. 7 days you shall eat unleavened bread with it. That is the bread of affliction, for you came out of the land of Egypt in haste. Unleavened bread is considered the bread of affliction. And this is Deuteronomy 16:3. For you came out of the land of Egypt in haste, that you may remember the day in which you came out of the land of Egypt, all the days of your life. Matzah is also often called the bread of affliction or bread of freedom, and it commemorates this event as well. So this was really cool. It was the whole concept was you were brought out in haste. You were brought out immediately after the 10th plague hit. It was just like go, get out. And of course the anger was there and stirring, and so they did have to leave quickly. They had to leave before Pharaoh put his army together and said, we're going to go and remove them completely, the Israelites completely from the earth. Leaven in Scripture also represents sin. So today, cleansing the house before Passover is often a symbolic search to remove any hypocrisy or wickedness. Unleavened bread is one of three pilgrimage feasts when all Jewish males were required to go to Jerusalem and appear before the Lord. That's Deuteronomy 16:16. We'll talk about that. And we're going to talk about it right now. Deuteronomy 16. 3 times a year, all your males shall appear before the Lord your God in the place which he chooses. At the feast of unleavened bread, all the feasts of the weeks, at the feast of the tabernacles, they shall not appear before the Lord empty handed. 17. Every man shall give as he is able, according to the blessing of the Lord your God, which he has given you. And that's an awesome scripture. I love that. Every man shall give as he is able, according to the blessing of the Lord, which your God he has given you. Leaven represents sin. Matzah stands for without sin. This is a picture of Jesus. He lived without sin. Jesus stated the bread of God is he who comes down from heaven and gives life to the world. And of course, as we know, Scripture also states that he is the bread of life. He is also called the living bread. Leaven is the symbol of sin. The Messiah is unleavened, without sin, sinless, without sin being sinless, living a life without sin. This is all part of how they word and phrase and talk about this. He is able to conquer the grave. He did not live under the curse of death brought on by sin. So all festivals instituted by God are shadows of things to come. This is in Colossians 2:17. We're going to go back at 16 here. Let no one judge you for in food or drink, in regarding the festivals or a new moon or Sabbath. So again, the main thing we had talked about a while back was, should Christians follow through with the feasts and the different festivals that are mentioned? Is that something that we want to incorporate or bring into our lives, or is it like, well, I'm not Jewish, I'm not certain if it's something that I should go through with? And we've often come to the concept of, it's just a blessing that the Lord can bring upon you and your family. And it's fun to do things to this nature with your family. If you've got kids, this is fun stuff to come together, because this is something that you can learn how to make and they can easily make themselves. I want to go back to 17. I'm going to read 16 because I interrupted this one too early. So let no one judge you in food or in drink, or regarding a festival or a new moon or Sabbaths, which are a shadow of things to come, but the substance is of Christ. Again, this is a decision that you have to make. These are very simple, very short. I wanted to just kind of learn what these are. First fruits is a great one. You're going to like that one a lot. That's one that I thought was very interesting because Christians normally observe that one and Jewish people do not. A few ideas on this, and this is another thing that I thought was really cool because remember that there can't be any leaven in the house. The house had to be completely clean of leaven. So, only type of bread eaten during Passover is unleavened or matzah, flour and water only. No leaven is allowed. It's striped and pierced during baking, which I thought was interesting. That's not something that I could fully prove or whatnot, but it is apparently poked and prodded, and it's I don't know if it's striped in the sense that that's how they they specifically make it, or if it's just a rack that's put on to keep it from falling through and into the fire. I'm not sure. I kind of looked to see. I did find a good source on that, but I was looking for a few others on there. But flour and water only. There is no leaven in it, so it's basically just hand kneaded and then baked quickly. I think it was baked over pretty high heat. This is interesting too, and I've always stated that the feasts and whatnot, there's always the concept of you're not going to work, you're not going to do anything during that time frame. You only just work on the meals and preparation for the meals. And I thought maybe the Lord is teaching people how to take a break, how to take a breather. But all these festivals just seem like so much work. It just seems like there's just so much going on that it's like crazy. So the utensils that you use for this must never touch leavened bread. Your bowl, most of them would probably prepare this on a table. I don't know if that counts or not. I'm not sure. Maybe they use the other side of the table. They preserved one table. There wasn't a whole lot to dig into there how they did this. The cleanup portion was there. But you have all new spoons, whole new, I don't know what you would need. Most of it's just going to be your hands. And maybe a bowl to mix the water and flour in. But those utensils must never touch leavened bread. I must never touch leaven, I'm sorry, any kind of leaven. On the night before Passover, the father does a final search for any remaining leaven in the house. Because remember, they cannot have any leaven in the house, otherwise they are ostracized from the tribe. And so you would keep track of this because you would know, okay, we're going to have to find this stuff. So you're going to want to know where it's at. But he's going to search through the house. He's going to look through all the kitchen and everywhere and see if he can find any extra leaven anywhere in the house, any bread that's fallen behind the cracks, so to speak. Traditionally, by candlelight, he will sweep any remaining bread crumbs. We're talking about crumbs here. Any remaining bread crumbs onto a wooden spoon with a goose feather. When finished, the breadcrumbs, the feather, and the spoon are placed in a bag and burned the next morning. That is the extreme nature of God. He don't play. Get to it. He don't play at all. He's like, this is what I said. Do it. And this whole process here, I don't find it tiresome at all. Not a bit. Yeah. A goose feather. Everything gets burned. But anyway, I thought that was interesting. It's just a short, brief, quick video on that. We were going to talk about a lot more tonight and got stalled. And so we're going to move forward. We'll do what we can down the road or whatnot. And we're looking to see where we want to take this channel, the direction that we want to go. We wanted to stop this channel from people being deceived. And so we thought, okay, we need to find ways to do that. We also want to start a program with it that kind of helps parents talk to their kids about this stuff. My nephews are pretty well versed in a lot of scripture because it's been hammered into them and whatnot. A friend of mine just put her child in a very nice Christian school here. She's elementary level. And she's just beyond ecstatic at the amount of scripture and things. And she's like, I actually have to buy her a real Bible now. I mean, she's low elementary. I think she's like second, third grade. But she's like, I have to buy her like a real Bible now. The picture one, is what she's had. And she's going to actually get to learn how to read it and whatnot. And so that's something that I hope that you can look forward to and to get questions going. And the best part about kids asking you questions is it's okay to say, I don't know, let's find out. Let's look it up. There's a lot of Jewish stuff I just don't have a clue on because I never spent time in it because I always felt like that wasn't something that I was privy to in a sense. I mean, I'm not going to walk into a synagogue and be like, hey, just accept me. I'm a Christian and I believe in Jesus. And, I believe that Jesus came, that kind of thing. And so came and rose from the dead. but it's cool to look up stuff and to start researching stuff. And I'm digging more into the Jewish stuff because I want to be able to at least understand where they're coming from. Isaiah, I know, is a great place to start when leading a Jew to the Lord, and also an Islamic person to the Lord. Anybody who follows Islam, and so that's stuff that I'm trying to study. I have a terrible time memorizing things, and that's something that I also am working on with myself. But we uh, we are gonna continue the channel and push it. We're having fun with it. Even if the one of the main ideas we started with this with was like it's just for the kids. It's something for them to have for down the road. We live a crazy world and do dumb jobs and stuff. We could end up on the floor and not get up one day, and so this would be something for them to at least look back on and goof off with. But I want to thank you for attending or jumping on this one. This is, like I said, going to be a quick one, and we will continue through all the feasts. And then I have another listing I want to go through. We're going to go through the names of God and talk about different things to that. And that, of course, won't be a broken up series as much as this one. But we're going to go through quite a bit of stuff, just tidbits and things to kind of give a bit of advice and a bit of information, I should say, towards stuff. We're not big on advice, but a bit of information towards stuff here and there. So, thank you for stopping on this one, and we will see you after. Thank you.